Hey guys, thanks a lot for tuning in. My nickname is iFacePalm, and in this episode we're going to take a closer look at the French T8 Bourrasque Premium Medium Tank, which features a surprisingly effective 2-shot autoloader gun. And during this tank review we'll be looking into whether if it's worth the gold next time it arrives to the premium shop, how its tank statistics looks. I will compare its stats against several other autoloading tanks, which will be followed up with a quick armor profile rundown with focus on its weak spots and strength. And afterwards I will take you guys alongside a couple of very recent battles, which hopefully will give you guys a good idea of this tank in action. And finally I will finish up with a quick sum up and my rating of this French tank. Okay guys, let's get started. Okay, so what is this Bourrasque all about and why does it seem to be so famous? I remember clearly when it was introduced for the very first time and I was like, why would I buy it? Because it seems that it's just a whiz Progetto. And yes, quick spoiler, it is. But the interesting part is by how much. Because what the Bourrasque brings to the battlefield is surprisingly quite different playstyle that in some ways reminds more of a tank destroyer, but a tank destroyer on steroids, because this tank takes the burst damage potential really to another level. Because at first glance this tank might not seem impressive at all, especially when you take a look at its gun handling figures. But the figures only show half the truth, as the hidden figures, surprisingly enough, are simply amazing. But we are of course going to take a closer look as we go through the tank statistics and most importantly the strengths and weaknesses of the Bourrasque. Okay guys, let's do a quick stats rundown with my current crew and tank setup. For the crew I'm using Brothers in Arms, Camouflage, then I have focused on gun handling skills alongside improving the view range. But in general this is a tank that really shines the more experienced crew that you can fit in. For the equipment I fitted a commander's vision system, binoculars and a bounty stabilizer. We'll go into more details why I have selected the various equipment during the review. For the ammunition, do notice that this tank comes standard with APCR premium ammunition as also APCR. Each of the shells delivers an alpha damage of 360 that offers an average penetration of 190 and a quite decent shell velocity of 1000 meters per second at a cost of 780. The premium shells offer an additional 50mm of penetration and in addition an improved shell velocity that totals 1250 meters per second for a cost of 4400 silver. I think what is really unique about this particular tank is that the standard shells are surprisingly good. For some strange reason I actually do not have any larger issues penetrating the enemy tanks, even these shells only offer an average penetration of 190. And for the consumables I fit a small repair kit, small first aid kit and some strong coffee. So the average damage was 360, average penetration 190 and furthermore a rate of fire of 5.41. But the Bourrasque is an autoloader and it's a quite special one because it only features 2 shots, but the 2 shots each offer an alpha damage of 360. That means you can within just 2 seconds cause 720 alpha damage. And it is quite amazing because especially if you compare it against the Progetto, then the Progetto will need 4 seconds from the very first shot to deliver that same amount of damage. And this is quite a big advantage, which we will see in the tank comparison, but also in the 2 gameplay I have for you guys today. Furthermore, the tank has a gun traverse speed of amazing 61.27 degrees, minus 6 degrees gun depression. It's not fantastic, but workable. And do notice that the gun elevation is only at 13 degrees. Guys, check this out. Aiming time of 3.14 with this current crew, yes. And furthermore, a dispersion of 0.38. This is what I mean about when you look at these 2 figures, you would think that this tank would never ever be able to hit anything. But there is something magical about this tank. And what it is that it places this tank alongside the other 3 very best tank in the game. And we're of course going to see that when we're going to go through the tank stats comparison. The average damage per minute is 1946, not impressive in any way, but to keep in mind this is an autoloader, which of course offers that different gameplay style. The HP pool of 1250 definitely places it in light tank territory, and we can also see that in regards of the armor, because yes, 40-20-20 and 15-10-10, this is do not expect to bounce any shell in this tank. And even with a 310 horsepower engine you're still able to achieve a very nice 25.24 horsepower per ton, which makes it possible to achieve a top speed of 62 an hour and 23 reverse. It is especially nice with that 23 reverse speed, because this tank is all about firing those 2 shells and then get away or hide behind the rock. And do notice the nice camo figures of around 40 when stationary and 30 when moving. This is very impressive figures, where even some light tanks would get slightly jealous. And this also opens up opportunity that you can use this tank quite effectively as a light tank, especially mid to late game, where it is very often that there's no light tanks left on the battlefield. And regards to view range, as you noticed I have fitted a binoculars, and this is primary so I can increase the view range, which we are able to achieve here of 549. So I can use it both both as a tank destroyer, and I can use this tank as a light tank quite effectively, and actually more effectively than many light tanks out there, because that is also the reason why I have the commander's vision system, so I can simply spot other light tanks before they can even spot me. And last, a signal range of 798. Okay guys, let's take a look at the stats comparison. Okay guys, so here we are in this stats comparison. So here we have the Bourrasque. We're comparing it against the Progetto 46 and the Skoda T27. The reason why I have selected compare the Bourrasque against the Progetto 46 and the Skoda T27 is simply in the clip damage, because each of these tanks are able to deliver a quite impressive clip damage of 720, but where the Bourrasque is capable of delivering that in just amazing 2 seconds. So the DPM 1800, nothing special. And of course, keep in mind guys, all of these tanks are auto loaders, or the Progetto, which is of course an auto reloader, so the DPM doesn't have the same value as it will have for a regular tank. For the base penetration, 190. It is a bit lower than the Progetto 46 and the Skoda T27, but do keep in mind guys that this is an APCR shell, where both the Progetto 46 and the Skoda T27 uses ordinary AP shells, which means that it doesn't lose the penetration over distance in the same fashion as the Progetto 46 or the Skoda T27 does. The shell velocity for these shells is 1000 for the Bourrasque, 929 for the Progetto, and Skoda T27 have 1050. But if we change it to premium shells, then suddenly all tanks uses APCR, and then again the numbers looks quite similar, with a penetration value of 240 against the 240, 259. It's not a big difference, but definitely the Progetto is the king in this comparison. But when you're looking at the shell velocity, 1250, yeah, places it alongside the Progetto and the Skoda T27. And when looking at the alpha damage, check this guys, 360, and yes, the Progetto 46 and the Skoda T27 240. It might not be that big difference, of course it doesn't have that big clip size, and in general, yeah, if the intra-clip reload speed, let's say it was 3-4 seconds, that would make a big difference, and then suddenly this tank wouldn't really be that special. But what really makes this tank special is the alpha damage together with the intra-clip reload, because 2 seconds, that means you can deliver 720 damage in just 2 seconds. And if we compare against the Progetto 46, it will take 4 seconds. That is more than plenty of time for the opponent's sixth sense to alarm him that someone is shooting at him, and furthermore to retaliate and fire back on you. The Skoda T27 is fast with around 3.6 seconds, but still, if we compare those 2 seconds against its two competitors in this comparison, they simply do not stand a chance. So far so good. Let's continue. Okay guys, so for the gun handling, yeah, let's take a look at the visible figures. 3.5 aiming time and dispersion of 0.42. It definitely places it among some of the worst gun handling ever. What makes this tank super unique is the gun handling figures that are not shown to the public. Yes, all the hidden figures, because check this guys, moving 0.10, when traversing your tank and turret 0.10 again. These are really some awesome figures guys, and this actually makes this tank workable and actually quite a joy to play. I'm all about gun handling, and it's really strange when they mix some of the worst aiming time in game together with some of the worst dispersion, but then with some of the best gun handling ever. And we will see how the gun actually handles in the two gameplay that I have for you. One figure to notice is the after firing, which has a value of 4. And this is quite significant because, as you remember, the intra-clip reload speed was of 2 seconds. And when firing, you will receive a dispersion penalty of 4. That means that the second shell, even if it will be ready in 2 seconds, will most likely not be able to hit whatever you're shooting at, especially if it's positioned 300, 400 or 500 meters away. So it is important that you will give the second shell, especially when firing at long range, that additional 2 extra seconds to properly aim. But of course, if you're up close, right in the face of the enemy tank, yeah, then it just fire away. And last, the Bourrasque features a gun depression of 6 degrees. It is not groundbreaking, but it is manageable, because keep in mind guys, this tank is extremely mobile and mostly shines when it's quite far away from its enemy. For the mobility, yeah, check this guys, 62 km for watt and amazing reverse speed of 23, which definitely makes it the best in class in this comparison. Even an engine power of 310 horsepower per ton is able to achieve a power to weight ratio of 25.77 due to its amazingly low weight of 12 tons. And do keep in mind that the terrain resistance are also very low with 0.708 on 1.4, so definitely fast on every way when we compare against the Skoda T27. When we compare the Progetto, it is definitely slightly better even on hard and medium terrain, but slightly more sluggish on soft terrain. Do notice the difference between the turret and tank traverse in this comparison, with 55 degrees versus 36 and 40, but a slightly worse tank traverse of 40 degrees. It might not seem a lot, but it's actually quite a big minus for this tank because it is extremely nimble in regards of speed, but traversing the tank, that can definitely feel a bit sluggish. And I have often thought about whether I should fit the rotation mechanism to improve the tank traverse speed, because it definitely would benefit from that. But in the end, I had to decide on how I want to use the tank. That I want to use it primarily as a tank that is going to use that tank traverse benefit versus the benefit of being able to scout and spot most tanks on the battlefield. This also means that for those players who have a different playstyle, and Commander's vision system can definitely be swapped with rotation mechanism, and the binoculars can easily be shifted with coated optics. For the armor, yeah, nothing here. We're going to take a super quick look at this in just a second, but quickly to notice here is the low HP pool of 1250, which yeah, you can directly see here where that 1250 is definitely in light tank territory. And for the last figures, check the camo values, guys. 19.27 base, especially here in this comparison, and also when moving 14.48, 390 base view range, beautiful. So really some fine figures here, which makes it a joy to play this tank during the medium to late stages, where you can easily take upon the light tank role, spotting and taking out the last enemy tanks. And furthermore, a range of 750 is not bad. It has a slightly higher fire chance of 20%, but yeah, in general, just put full focus on not getting hit. Okay guys, let's take a super quick look at the armor profile. Okay guys, so here we have the Bourrasque's armor profile, and here for this comparison we're using the 190mm penetrating shells, and let's take a look how it looks in the live view. Yeah, 12, 15mm, 35, 40mm and 42. Everything is going to go through you like butter, unless you super lucky and the enemy will hit right here through some of the spaced armor. And check this guys, how many layers they actually have to go through for a total effective armor of 537. Yeah, but you know guys, that's RNG. And side scraping, yes. Some extreme angle, yeah. And the side profile 10mm, 20, and down here around 40mm. Keep in mind guys that if you encounter a Bourrasque and you never find yourself firing those high explosive ammunition, then this is a tank that really begs for those high explosive shells, because 10mm and another 20mm guys. So if you wanna become the Bourrasque's worst enemy, just load some high explosive guys. Okay guys, let's take a look at the last two games I just had in the Bourrasque. Okay guys, so here we are in our first battle in the Bourrasque. And here we're playing on mines. Yeah. The question will be whether I should YOLO towards the hill in the center or to the right. I think it will be more safe to take the right place. The other place always feels more like a gamble. But of course, there's only 2 medium tanks and 1 light tank, and plenty of heavy tanks here. Ooh, got some early spots there. Looks like those guys are most likely in a platoon. Okay, take some time to aim the first, but I need to fire. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Let's go to those 2 of them. It's a bit afraid there to get some fire back at me. It's always about, especially at long distance, to balance. Oh, beautiful, 719 spotting. It's always a bit challenging to see how many seconds, whether you should wait 2, 3 or 4 seconds when you fire at long range, because it makes quite a big difference regarding how often you hit something. Okay, those 2 guys I guess want some revenge now. Good part is we have quite some tank destroyers, beautiful, on A4, which hopefully can help us out a bit. Nice, some additional spotting damage there. Beautiful. Okay, so there's 1 guy left. We should be able to clip that guy out, but yeah, there's still some support from the 4 line, and I'm always a bit worried that what about if one of my shells misses. So let's see, let's look for some opportunities. Okay, beautiful, that guy is definitely a 1-shot now. Let's get into position. Pokes out, I could take him out directly. Yeah, could be good, could be good. Yeah, let's do it, I think. Definitely take a 1-shot. Let's see. I have 2 shots, so we can. Yeah, beautifully missed that one, and we just make sure that one sits. Beautiful. It's nice to have 2 chances. Spotted, come on, Jagdpanzer, run! Okay, we've got a away a bit there. I must say that even we are all alone here on the one line, the support is fantastic. Can we get a shot in here? It's 3-5 at this current stage. HP looks quite similar though. Oopsie. The Cannon Jagdpanzer is nearly dead, so I should be able to one-shot him. Just checking for a bit. Sometimes when you YOLO too fast towards the... Ah, there we got a Scorpion. Can we put 2 shells in? One was a bit lucky, that one, not fully aimed. Ah, yeah. It's good when the RNG is with you. And we're just watching the CS53 drive by. Yeah, but it's always good to make like sure that there's nothing that will, well, not too much that will be shooting you down, killing you. Ooh, nice, nice, nice. When you're crossing down to H1, can we put 2 in here? 1, make sure it's aiming. Yeah, beautiful. Yow. Quite good retaliation by the enemy. I don't even think we got spotted there. The error I did when I started initially to play with the tank is I fired both shell very quick succession of each other, and the second shell is it's definitely not precise and very often just flying way off the target. But by just waiting that one additional, or preferably that additional 2 seconds after fully reloaded, really makes a big difference. Beautiful, another 2 shells in. So check this, guys, we already got 2,300 damage, 2,700 spotting. And let's see if we can take the Cannon Jagdpanzer out. We still have some HP, we can, woohoo, close. There should be no problem taking this guy out. There we go. Got only 1 shell left in magazine. Oh, let's change. So only got premium left. So as you guys noticed, I was just firing normal, ordinary APCR shells, and they're quite good. I've often been thinking, was I should just load more of those ordinary shells. Of course, we're not playing against tier 10, but then again, when you play against tier 10, then the 240mm is rarely enough, at least when if you're shooting them head on. Okay. See 101. 1 shell. Still, I know I need still to reload it. See if we can snap on it. Yeah. Still, no, I need 2 shells at least to kill him. And the guy will most likely not attack me. Nope. It's beautiful. Yeah, the best thing he actually should have done is to just completely just YOLO me or just drive away. But yeah, in the situation where it looks like 4 of his comrades, okay, there he is. It's a bit late YOLOing, but can we take him out? What? 9 HP. If I was a bit more heavy, I would actually have driven into him, but I'm a bit worried because my tank was like 12-13 tons. Oh, let's see what happens. Yeah, we took damage, but he definitely didn't. But now he did. Okay, so it looks like the other 4 tanks are way far away from us, so we can easily reload here. Okay, 11-10. It's quite close match, but at this current stage we have been able to do 3,600 damage with 2,700 spotting. I must say that the spotting was pure luck, because it's very rare that when you go solo on the one line that actually there is such kind of support. Can we put in some shells on this guy? Aiming. Wow! A bit too much. Oh, nice shot by the Conqueror. Definitely can't take another hit now. The HP looks still very wow. Enemy have advantage already now at 400. Let's see if I can create some distance to the Conqueror, so if I hit him again, he will not be shooting back at me. We'll use a busher, but that's unfortunately nothing. Can I put in? What to do? Okay, now we definitely have a nice advantage. The Conqueror definitely has the HP. Haven't spotted us. Beautiful. Who is looking at us? Run! Very well played by the Conqueror. Still managed to do 4,321 damage and 2,708 spotting. Not bad at all. And this is the thing about the Bourrasque. It really just racks up the damage so fast. It's like, yeah, you barely notice. You barely play any minutes in the game and then suddenly just rake up easily 2,000, 3,000 damage in a lot of games. Yeah. Okay guys, let's take another game. Let's see if I can stay alive. Okay guys, so here we are on Karelia. Another match in the Bourrasque. This will be quite interesting. There's one light tank that will be our worst enemy. But if we can take that guy out, that means we should be able to go down to my favorite spot when we are attacking, over to D3.5 or D4 location. Okay, the enemy Bourrasque is super aggressive. Can we put in a shell? Check the gun bloom, guys. Can we? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And now it's... This will always get tricky here because usually there's coming shots from every single place here. Usually a lot from the E3 and D3 locations. Just need to hide for those 10 plus seconds. A bit worried about if the Bourrasque is going to come back to seek revenge. Doesn't seem so. Maybe. Okay, good. And of course, the biggest worry here is the light tank. Check guys how far away I spotted those guys. Really nice view range on this tank. Even the Jagdband unfortunately is behind some rocks. Okay, there we got our biggest foe. Different stage, one end, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now get away, get away. Get away. Sometimes this is enough to get you destroyed. Especially because on our right flank, the enemy is so aggressive. I'm also a bit worried there. But so far, so good. Honestly wondering what our I'm doing our light tank's role. Light tank is staying quite far back, but nevertheless, okay, let's see if we can safely take the position. This position, guys, is so vital. It's crazy. Oh, nice, nice, nice. There's way too many targets that I can say no to. Wow, there's a lot of them. Okay, one enter. Ricochet, okay. Let's reload. Such situations where the targets are just oh, I'm a bit worried about the Bourrasque. Can we put in? Okay, no, he's still behind the rocks. Okay, he's moving away. Okay, back, 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 back. Yeah, the turret traverse is a bit sluggish, but let's see, let's see, let's see. Come on, aim. One into. Beautiful, beautiful. Just give another 15 seconds. There's plenty of time to, you know, to take a look at the map, what's happening. Can we get a shot in the bad shot? No. Okay, got the Centurion down. One. Okay, wait, wait, wait. And vertical down. Beautiful. Yeah. This is this is like super scenario. For us at least, not for those poor vehicles that each seem to be nearly dead. This will be a bit tricky, that one. Just looking for some. Yeah, beautiful. It's quite a lot of the high tiers. So notice guys are using the premium shells in the stage. I want to be certain that I can impact this as much as possible. Okay, the Lancer C looks quite aggressive. But check this guys, we already had 10-4. We've already delivered 3100 damage ourselves with 930 spotting. Beautiful. Enemies definitely under pressure here, and our allies are attacking as they should. One thing that's a bit surprising on this map here also. Can we get a shot in here? Okay, that one didn't. Can we? Yeah, beautiful. Is that we don't have any tank destroyers on the H6, H7 line. Usually there's plenty to support us. But then again, we only had 3 tank destroyers with us in the game. But nevertheless. Still not bad, still not bad. Okay, the Lancer C. That's like a dream target, no armor whatsoever. I prefer to shoot at the Lancer C rather than the E75. E75 one angled properly. Wow, that tank can really bounce some shells. Beautiful, 2 shells in. Okay, got away though. But check, the 20 seconds really is good because it is within the normal limit, because even the guy, you know, goes completely mad now at us because now we hit him 4 times. We're still fully reloaded and ready to finish him off. Beautiful guys, 4545 damage and 930. So yeah, we just had 2 games and this tag is just awesome. It just wrecks the damage. So, the Bourrasque, what do you think of it, and most importantly, is it worth the gold? One thing is certain, that in the right hands, the Bourrasque in the current meta is definitely among the top 4 strongest G8 premium tanks in the game, alongside the Progetto T44-100 and the CS52 Liz. The thing that binds each of those tanks is a high skill demand, meaning they are only as good as you as tank commander can make them, meaning for a brand new player they might not seem any special or even weak, but for a very skilled player, those tanks will truly wreak havoc on the battlefield, and they will do that consistently, and whether you are top or bottom tier will suddenly just become a mere distraction. The thing is that Bourrasque differs in the playstyle, at least when comparing it to the other 3 highly competitive brothers, by taking the role of being a very flexible tank destroyer which fires off its 2 shells amazingly fast and then is able to quickly run away and hide again for those 20 seconds to again be ready to cause another devastating 720 damage in just 2 seconds. This tank is really capable of merging the super fast burst damage potential with its awesome mobility. For a tank that has 0 armor, it is all about staying visible for the fewest amount of seconds possible. And for a tank that easily fire off its devastating clip in just 2 seconds and then in an instant hide away and completely reposition, then this tank truly can make wonders on the right map and in the right tank commander's hands. So the question is, how many facepalms would I give this T8 French premium Bourrasque medium tank? Yeah, you guessed that, it of course receives 5 facepalms. And guys, you might of course recall the yearly events of Frontline, which features those gigantic maps and where repositioning to the various flanks becomes a must. And in my opinion, then this is exactly here where you find the Bourrasque when it's best, in open gigantic environments. For any experienced player who prioritizes mobility and burst damage versus any form of armor and likes this form of playstyle, then this tank definitely have the potential of becoming one of your favorite T8 premium tanks. And one thing is for certain, this tank is definitely one of my top 4 tanks, my T8 collection. Okay guys, let's finish up. I hope that this tank review was helpful towards your decision on whether you should pick one up from the premium shop next time it is for sale. And thanks a lot for watching guys, this was my tank review number 26. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you think of the Bourrasque in the comments below. And as always, if you'd like to see more crazy content from my side, feel free to leave a like or even subscribe. It's a big thumbs up for me and I appreciate it a lot. Cheers guys, take care and see you next time.